Chris,
Hello.
do you think they'll be having that meeting tomorrow night?
I don't have my calendar in front of me. Which meeting are?
Oh, I'm sorry, the citizens group.
Oh yeah. They'll have it.
Okay, I didn't know what the weather, if they would or not. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about in the contrary, so
Okay.
I'd assume they have it.
Okay, they'll let us know.
Yeah, they'll send out a mass email if for some reason it's canceled.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Mayor.
Apologize, we had to finish a few last things, but we are ready to roll whenever you are, Chairman.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. This is the agenda for Public Services Committee to be held via teleconference Tuesday, January 25th, 2022 at looks like 6:03 p.m. Roll call, please. Call to order.
Alderman Sherry Pickering.
Here.
Eve Ludwig.
Here.
Trisha Teague.
Present.
Robert Williams.
Present.
Darren York.
Present.
Chairman Rick Strebe. 6 present.
6 present. Thank you. Number 2, approval of minutes for 11/23 of 21. Anybody have any questions on the minutes that were sent to you? If not,
Chairman, we need a motion to approve.
okay, I'll need a motion to approve.
So moved.
How about a second?
Second.
All right. Any questions? Not roll call, please.
Alderman Teague.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
York.
Yes.
Pickering.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
Strebe.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes. Puts it to item number 3, approval of the agenda. I guess we'll need a motion in a second.
So moved.
Any questions on the agenda? Not roll call, please.
Alderman Williams.
Yes.
York.
Yes.
Pickering.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
Teague.
Yes.
Strebe.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes. Thank you. Puts us to the audit's comments. Ms. Munson, do we have any this evening?
No, we do not, Chairman.
All right. Thank you. Number 5, chairman's comments. I have none at this time, which will move to number 6, approval of payrolls for 1/21 of 22. I'll need a motion in a second, please.
So moved.
Is there any questions on the payrolls? If not, roll call, please.
Alderman York.
Yes.
Pickering.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
Teague.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Strebe.
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you. Puts us to item number 7, approval of vouchers payable for 1/25 of 22. I need a motion in a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any questions on the vouchers payables in front of you?
I just have one question.
Yes.
There's a collision repair to, it says E4. Is that a fire truck?
Is that the one for the $550?
No, it's $18.98 and 98 cents. It's on page, what page? Page 2 of the payables.
It was
The
repair
fire
of the
truck.
back. It was
I
the
was
back of
about, as soon as it came out my mouth, I was like, no, that's a fire truck. I was like, what is E4? And then
Yes, that's our engine 4, the rear end damage of it, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Is that 18,000 you said, or 1,800?
1,800.
Okay,
1,800.
okay.
Is there any other questions on the vouchers payables? If not, roll call, please.
Vice Chairman Pickering,
Yes.
Alderman Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Reading,
Yes.
6 yes.
Yes, thank you very much. That puts us to item number 8, City Clerk's Report. Miss Lisa Munson.
Good evening. The only thing I have to report is I'm currently working on the annual statement of economic interest that you all will be receiving. I'm gathering information to send that to the county clerk and just the day-to-day things in our office.
Anybody have any questions for Miss Munson? If not, thank you, Lisa, for everything.
Welcome.
Puts us number 9, Finance. Ashley Macy, Comptroller. Items of information.
Good evening. I have in the packet the risk management monthly report and the personnel monthly report. Are there any questions on those before I give my update? Okay.
Okay, don't look like any.
All right. So the finance department is continuing to work with billing and collections. We're wrapping up our prep processes for the Zone 8 or residential bills. For December, we plan for those to go out before the end of the week. This week, I would say, are close to returning to normal. I'm really happy to report that. Phones are not ringing off the hooks anymore. We're able to actually dig back into normal duties, not just billing and collection related duties. So plugging away on that. As Mayor indicated via email, once we get through this month, I'm gonna try and turn my attention to ARPA related items so we can bring a presentation or plan to you as soon as I am able to get that together. We, as you noticed last city council, the agreement with OSF fell off of the agenda because the Supreme Court blocked the vaccination and testing mandate. So we're thankfully able to set that aside because that was going to be a huge time burden for the city. And I think that's all I have. Those are the highlights. Are there any questions for the finance department?
No, but I've got a couple comments. Number one, thank you for trying to get all that stuff together in such a quick amount of time. And then I just want to let you know that there's probably a lot of us that I know when the mailing goes out, are you going to do it in waves or try to do it all at once? Because like out here in the Heights where I'm at, we're doing good sometimes to get mail twice a week, if we're lucky.
So we've been mailing them all at once. How that works with business mailing is we drop those off at the post office together. We have to fill out a report with how many pieces of mail we have and pay at the time of drop off. And the way our bills are generated in the system is that the bill date and due date are 20 days apart per statute. So all residential bills have the same bill date. So unfortunately, we can't stagger that mailing, or else some individuals would have a shorter period of time from receiving the bills. I mean, of course, once we drop it off at the post office, we hope that it arrives in that scheduled amount of time, but it is out of our hands. So that's why you can always sign up for email bills. That's a great little plug, just because of the portal. You don't have to do auto pay. To use the portal and still sign up to get your bill emailed. So the minute we generate those, you get your bill in your email. So cityofdanville.org.
Thank you. Any other questions for finance? Right. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Puts us to item number 10. The fire department with Don McMaster as the fire chief. 10A, we have a resolution authorizing amendment FY 2021 through FY 2022 fire line item 22 in the budget. I entertain a motion to dispense with the reading and move for its approval. I'll need a motion in a second.
So move.
Got a motion in a second. Any questions on this resolution? If not, roll call, please.
Alderman Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Streaming,
Yes,
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Puts us to 10B, items of information and monthly status report. Chief, do you have anything for us?
Fairly mild tonight. You should have your our report summary for the month of December. And I just looked at it, I lost it already. 382 calls for service in the month of December. It shows that there were 6 residential fires or building fires. Reality, there was 6 building fires, but only on 4 occurrences. 3 of those fires were actually one consecutive fire, if you will. It was a camper that was stored right up against a garage that then started the garage on fire, as well as the neighbor's garage on fire. From the time it started as a camper on fire that was occupied at the time, and by the time the fire department got there, it had already got into the second garage and had it going fairly significant, and was working on the third building, which would be the second garage. So that's actually, in reality, we had 4 incidents of fire over the course of December. So it was a quiet month, and I say that very carefully, that it was a quiet month as far as fires go. Other items of information, we have 3 new firefighters that are starting the job tomorrow and are being sworn in tomorrow morning downstairs at City Hall at 9 o'clock if anyone would like to attend. And continuing with typical fire department tradition, 1 firefighter who is a son of one of our current lieutenants on the job. The second one is a brother to one of our new firefighters on the job. And the third one is the son of a retired firefighter from the job. So in keeping with tradition, but they'll be sworn in tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at City Hall. And then they all start academy in Champaign on February 28th. Also too, as a note, from Ms. Teague, you will see either next year or next month or the following month, we will have another repair bill on another vehicle as well that you will see on the invoices as they come through. We had a personal vehicle that was damaged by hose while we were putting hose back together and loading things up after a fire at like 2 a.m. on Christmas Day. So you will see that as well, which will be the same thing. It's a significantly less bill. I think it's going to be like $550.
Well, Chief, I think that's in our packets this evening.
Yeah, probably the movement of the money for it. Yes.
Yes,
Obviously, it'll be with everybody else's schedules and everything else. It'll probably be late February or March before it actually gets repaired and we actually see the invoice.
Okay.
So that's all I have pressing for the night tonight. Any questions?
Nope. Thank you, Chief. All right, puts us item number 11, human relations with Miss Sandra Finch.
Good evening,
hello.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good. It looks like your report, you've been pretty busy.
I have been very busy. I added the December report to the January report. So it's starting with the December report for the period of November 16th through the December 20th. I handled 31 complaints. As you can see, police complaints 6, 8 employment, 1 complaint against a regular city employee, and 15 housing complaints and 3 public accommodation complaints. A total of 31 complaints for that period. You have any questions regarding the December report?
Anybody have any questions for Miss Finch?
And then for January's report, the period starting December 21st, actually ending January 12th, because not January 12th, it would be January the 14th. So I handled 15 complaints, 0 police complaints. We're at 0 police complaints right now. 6 employment complaints, 1 complaint against city employee, and 6 housing complaints, 2 public accommodation complaints, total of 15 complaints. Any questions? I just want to say thank you to the mayor and to the council for supporting the MLK celebration. Once again, it was a success. I think everyone really enjoyed the service, and we presented our scholarship to Clara Graham. And hopefully next month, if we're meeting in public, we'll have her come and present her essay to the council. Any questions?
Well, I think if even if she's not, let's get her some time, and we can put it in on a regular meeting by
Okay.
Zoom or something, because we
Okay.
really need to hear. We really need to hear her words and her voice. That always gets you.
Okay, I would definitely do that, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And by the way, I'm sorry for the loss you had in your family. So
Thank you very much. It was so unexpected. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
I would like to say that Sandra did an excellent job, her and her committee, in putting on that Martin Luther King program. I was there and I really enjoyed every minute of it, and she's done a wonderful job. And I would like to thank her for it.
Thank you, Alderman Williams. I appreciate that. And I also want to thank all the aldermen who came to the program and even participated in the march. So again, thank you for all your support. We really appreciate it.
thank you, Ms. Finch. All right, puts us to item number 12, information technology with Agnel DeSalvia, the administrator. Items of information from Agnel.
Unfortunately, he's not here tonight. It's just me.
Okay.
But we basically have about 4 different projects that are being implemented at the current time. We have the fire records that's being implemented. We got content management with finance for the utility billing system. DMT is also getting all their ETA equipment, which tracks the buses and whatnot. That's all being upgraded right now. We're also in the works with getting our fare box system upgraded, and we're hoping to get a vending machine maybe down at the transfer zone, so that way people don't have to walk in the cold. But in between all that, we're just running updates, doing maintenance, and keeping an eye on all our security reports.
Well, thank you very much, and I really appreciated the little note that Agnel sent everybody with what the problems we're having over there in Europe and everything, and looking for hackers and being careful with what you're opening on your emails. So thank you guys very much.
Yeah, now's the best time as any to be vigilant on your emails. So,
do we have any questions for Agnel's department? If not, thank you.
Thank you.
What's this to legal corporation counsel, Mr. James Simon. 13A, we have an ordinance amending the Danville City Code, Chapter 96, intoxicating liquors. I make the motion to approve and dispense with the reading and ask for your approval. I'll need a second, please.
Second.
Is there any questions on this ordinance?
I have one quick question. It's under Part C6, and I'm just wondering if the third party or third person who delivers the licensee's alcohol should also possess a valid or current responsible alcohol server training, the Bassett certificate as well?
It depends on who the individual is. I'm not sure for instance, a general Uber driver would have a Bassett certificate. The draft ordinance provides that if it's an employee of the licensed establishment or the licensee, that yes, they must have a valid Bassett or responsible server certificate. I'm not sure we can require an Uber driver, because if they call Uber, if they have a relation with Uber, they may not know which Uber driver is going to show up to pick up, or whether it's Grubhub or whatever. Now, it's possible some Grubhub folks may have that, but then the licensee would have to find one or call in one and make sure one has one. And I think that could be a problem for them.
Okay. All right. I noticed that it only costs like $14 to get that certificate per year. So I didn't know if that would be something that it would be a burden to require.
I think it's not a financial burden. I just think for licensees who don't have the ability or the wherewithal to have an employee leave the establishment to do their deliveries, that finding Uber and Lyft and Grubhub and whoever else does that, regular taxi drivers, finding one that has bothered to go through the training and get their certificate. But I agree, there's not, now, if you want, we can put that in there.
No, I was concerned that maybe it was omitted or it was just a burden, and that's why it wasn't included in there. You just cause, like you're saying, a possible undue burden that there wouldn't be those people available because they wouldn't have those certificates.
Right. I thought of that when drafting this and weighed, well, could I do that? I guess our ordinance could provide for it, but I think that may, in terms of the practical, not the financial, but the practical impact on the licensees and all, could present a problem, especially for smaller organizations.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I can see a logistics problem with it because number one, keeping the paperwork on everybody and then trying to keep track of everybody. That's, I have taken the test, and you got to spend quite a while on the computer to get through it. So a lot of people would just say, forget it, I'm not doing it. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm personally concerned about, currently we have,
What?
we have restaurants, restaurants who deliver food, but will not deliver food to certain areas because of the possibility of crime occurring. And they're just delivering food. And now we want to look at an ordinance to allow alcohol to be delivered into these areas. So I'm very concerned about that.
The problem that we have, Alderman Williams, is that the state passed a new liquor law that says that we cannot prohibit people from delivering alcohol for sale. So the only thing that we can do, we can't strictly prohibit. The only thing that we can do is provide some type of regulations or qualifications for the process and how it's done. But we cannot prevent them from delivering liquor according to state law. It says that expressly that you cannot prohibit them from doing so.
Well, the restrictions we need to place on these need to be very severe, I believe, if that's the case.
I think that we've placed as many, as you can, because it also says that there are some restrictions that you can't place on it in the law itself too. So I think that Corporation Council has tried to include regulation of most of the things that we can legally regulate about delivery. In terms of having, a person delivering being of age and those types of things, having that requirement, so.
The problem that, and you're right, Alderman Williams, part of the problem, I think Chief Yates can speak to it much more than we do, is a question of, are they carrying cash? And
right.
However, these orders, whether they're on the phone or not, the drivers do not collect cash. This is with credit cards or debit cards or some other kind of a card, but these are not cash transactions because it's not a walk-in or where you place an order, go in and pay for it and get delivery later. It's strictly credit cards or debit cards or gift certificates if the establishment offers that.
Yes, because they have to pay for it, the order, before it can even go out, Alderman. So hopefully that will prevent some of the things that you're concerned about.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I would think that possibility, even the amount of liquor they're carrying, would be a temptation for someone to hold them up.
Well, that gets into the problem of the statute, as Mayor Williams has indicated. I followed the statute very clearly, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what side of the fence one's on, there is a home rule preemption. So we cannot become stricter than what's in this statute.
Okay. All righty.
Does anybody else have any questions on this ordinance? If not, roll call, please.
Alderman Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
No.
York,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
5 yes.
5 yes, thank you. Puts us to 13B, an ordinance amending the Danville City Code, Chapter 42, Administrative Adjudication. I'll make the motion to approve and dispense with the reading and ask for your approval. I'll need a second, please.
Second.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions on this ordinance? If not, roll, oh, Ms. Teague?
I was just curious as to the reasoning that precipitated the change.
It's, the reason for this change is we are unable to meet a 5-day turnaround, and the ordinance as it's currently drafted is somewhat ambiguous in terms of what issued order or decision issued. The way the process works is there is some kind of a hearing downstairs in our administrative adjudication process, and whether it's by plea agreement or what have you, an order or a decision is drafted up. Well, a decision is pronounced by the hearing officer in each case. Then we in legal draft the order, and then the hearing officer has to sign the order or make changes if he wants, and then it has to be mailed out. The hearing officer, the Amanda Mank is primarily the one that drafts the opinions, and she's quite busy and can't always draft them, the day after the hearing or even that afternoon when the hearings are done. She may need to wait a little bit for whatever reason. And then it's a matter of getting it out to the hearing officers. They do not come into our office on any regular basis. So depending on when they meet, a hearing officer is assigned to ordinance violation court for a month. And we rotate with 3 officers. So somebody, their last day, let's say in January, issues 3 opinions. He won't be back in our office to review the opinions and either edit them or sign them for a month or just about a month. And of course, we have the problem with the mails. It's slower than it used to be and all. And that's, as well as the hearing officers also have other jobs that they're doing. They all have their own private law practices. And so we feel we need that time to try to make sure we're in compliance with an ordinance in terms of when we get decisions out to respondents, defendants in these cases.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
Anybody else, any other questions? If not, roll call, please.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. That puts us to item number 14 with the police. Chief Yates, items of information.
Want to apologize for not getting all the reports sent to you. I have no excuse. They're sitting on my desk. I just didn't get them sent over. Looking at the year-end reports, comparing this year to last year, and when I say unchanged, it's a less than 5% difference on incidents. But what we saw decreases in aggravated batteries with firearms or injury with weapon, robberies, armed robberies, residential burglaries, shots fired, and shots fired. Those were the decreases out of the 13 that I usually bring to you. We had unchanged with assaults. We had a slight increase on just simple battery. About the same on aggravated batteries, We saw an increase in sexual assault reporting. Okay, and we have to dive into those numbers a little closer, but enough to where it's concerning. And we saw a slight increase in thefts and domestic battery. But unchanged was assaults, aggravated batteries, criminal damage, and then homicide was essentially unchanged. Any questions about that? We can really see where we've made a difference on the things that we focused on. Okay, and the things that so at the end of the year, and when we assess where we're at, we look at what we're doing right and we double down on it. And I think you've probably heard me say that before, but then we look at what I consider not making progress, the things that we see an increase on, and then we start looking at different initiatives that we have to participate in to make sure that we can't just focus on certain things. We need to, like I say, double down on those things, know that whatever techniques and strategies we're using are working, and then now how do we expand out to some of the other areas that we didn't focus so intensely on. And that's the domestic battery. And when you look at sexual assaults and domestic batteries, a lot of times those bridge over. And that was a big part of why we started this initiative. We saw these numbers before the end of the year that were concerning. So what we've done is we've started a domestic violence initiative. It's a process change in how we handle each one of our domestic violence reports, the measures we take before they go from patrol to investigations. This also works in with that domestic violence officer position that we've hired and have people in training for now, once we get all those officers trained in place. But we've also reached out and partnered with many of the social services and, in collaboration with them. And we're putting the mechanisms together now. And we also assigned a detective out of CID that specifically looks at every domestic violence case before it goes over to the state's attorney's office for prosecution, and making sure that we have everything we possibly need. And we've exhausted every effort in dealing with not only trying to find help for the victim and support, but also holding people accountable. Any questions on that? Okay. Organizational restructure that we did, we're starting to see different benefits already. Too early to tell. Citizens Academy, we're very happy to say that we started that again. That's always, I think, successful and very informative for the public. LPRs are in the process of getting completed. We're still waiting on some IDOT approvals and some Ameren MOUs, and for some of the ones that have to be hardwired in. But we are getting some returns on that already. We set aside, obviously, recruiting. We assigned a lieutenant and a sergeant to do that. And we got some neat things going, but also I've gotten some inquiries recently on lateral transfers, experienced officers interested in coming over to work for our department. And that's a good thing, because one, it tells us that experienced officers are interested in what we're doing, and they like the setting here as far as seeing the support by city leaders in the community. That makes things very appealing. We haven't advertised for that, and we're not going for lateral transfers right now. That's all in the works, and that'll come later. And it may be sooner than later, but not right now. I already talked about the domestic violence initiative. Also, the special crimes unit that's part of that increase of officers. We're already setting up the mechanisms for that. We're anticipating that we'll have everybody trained and ready to go. And the unit will be fully operational by February 2023. Keep in mind, we have hiring, we have academies, we have field training, and then we have selection for the units. That a lot of that stuff can go simultaneously with the training and the academy. You can't rush that. But we are already setting up the mechanisms and processes together now. This includes the logistics, policy and procedural needs and considerations. So we're moving pretty quick. There's not a lot of downtime, and there's some other things I'll report to you after we see the results that we're doing in reference to some of the violence that we saw at the end of the year into the first week.
Thank you, Chris. Anybody have any questions for Chief? Not, thank you. Puts us to item number 15, the Public Works Committee report. 15A, we have a resolution authorizing a budget amendment to fiscal year 2021 through 2022 solid waste line item number 405 in the budget. Entertain a motion to dispense with the reading and move for its approval. I'll need a second, please.
Chairman, if it be your pleasure, we can also add item B to that since they're for the same item. That way we could have one roll call if that'd be acceptable.
That'd be fine. We'll add 15B, which is a resolution approving the sole source purchase of waste collection containers. Here again, I'll need entertain a motion to dispense with the reading and move for its approval. I'll need a second.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions on either one of the 15A resolution or 15B resolution? Yes, Ms. Teague.
So it's based on the numbers that are in here. We doubled the number that we're planning to purchase. Is that right?
You're not real clear there, Alderman. I didn't quite understand.
I said, did we double the number that we plan to purchase?
Yes, this will be 2 truckloads.
Okay.
Is there any other questions? If not, roll call, please. On
Alderman York,
yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Key,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Screeving,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Gives us for Public Works Committee report items of information. Carl, you got anything for us?
No, I'd just like to thank you, Chairman and Chairman Poor, for allowing us to bring this in front of you guys tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Put this to item number 16, closed session. Mayor, I don't believe we've got a need for that this evening, do we?
No, Chairman, we don't.
Okay. Puts us to item number 17, items of information. Do you have anything for us, Mayor?
Yes, Chairman, I do. I would just like to remind everyone that we will have Danville's Got Talent next Friday night at 6:30 at the Fisher Theater. In order to support our healthcare workers, we have decided to make that a hybrid event. There will only be 200 people in attendance at the Fisher Theater, which is below the 25% capacity. That way everyone can spread out. There will be a way for people to vote online from home and to view that from home. But all of you are welcome to attend in person. If you would like to attend in person, what we're going to do is each act gets 10 tickets to give to their supporters. And then we'll have the Fisher staff, the city, some city staff, of course, and then you all and our sponsors. So if you would like to attend, please let Ashton know as soon as possible. That way she can get a ticket ready for you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We also have signups for our Glow Round that's happening next month on the first, or in March on the first Friday. So you can also register for that online too. Hope to see some of you participating.
Yes, Ms. Teague.
What was the date again for the Danville's Got Talent event?
It's next Friday, February 4th at 6:30.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mayor, I see here at the bottom of our paperwork, just if you'd like, because I know this come up as a question about a month or so ago about meeting in person versus doing the audio and the streaming. Do you want to address that a little bit?
Yes, Chairman. I think that for the sake of making sure that we can continue to run business. I think that we ought to, for another month, forego meeting in person. However, Agnell and Aaron in our IT department have been working on an option so that people could come in person and make public comment to the video. I am not sure if we'll have that up by the 1st, but we should definitely, if things go well, we should definitely have it up by the later meetings in the month.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Chairman, just so that you and the public and our committee will know, unfortunately, our hospitals here and in Champaign-Urbana are operating at about 125% capacity. And it's not all COVID related. Here at least, about 30% of the patients are COVID patients. However, what's happened is because in 2020, for so long, you could not go to get surgery or go to the hospital for treatment. And then also this past year, because people have been afraid of the COVID virus, people have delayed treatment. So what's happened is what were maybe acute or minor problems have become major problems for people where they have to be seen now. We have some wings where literally the nurses and doctors can hardly get down the hall because we have beds on both sides. So we're just trying to do everything that we can to not overwhelm them anymore. A lot of our healthcare workers are at the end of their rope, and we need to try to respect and support them in the small ways that we can.
Well, thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody else have any questions or any information for the good of the cause? If not, I will, looks like we're number 18. I'll need a motion and a second for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. How about a roll call, please?
Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
P,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Strebe,
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Stay safe.
Have a good night.